what's up, you guys? How you guys doing? It's your awesome dude 900 here, and today we are going to do Crisis on Infinite Earths Character Predictions Part 2. Now, this is going to be in The Flash. If you guys haven't seen my Supergirl episode yet, be sure to go check that out. But yeah, let's get straight into The Flash. Now, this is going to be mostly voiceover. I'm kind of going to switch off between filming and voiceover. Last time I did filming mostly, so this time I'm going to do mostly voiceover. To be honest, I kind of like the voiceover a little bit better, but let me know what you guys think is better in the comments. If you guys don't like these voiceover videos, I can definitely stop. But if you guys do like these voiceover videos and you don't like the filming, then I can definitely stop filming and start doing voiceovers. Or if you guys like both, we'll kind of just stick with this, kind of switching off between videos. So yeah, let's get straight into this video. So our first character that I'm going to do predictions for in The Flash is Harry Wells. Now, Harry has had a very long time on this show. He's been on here since season 2 and been on until the end of season 4, and he had a great run. I really do love this character, but unfortunately in Crisis on Infinite Earths, I think it is his time to die. He has had an awesome arc of just being this cold and mean character when he first walked into Star Labs, and being very distant from all of the rest of Team Flash, but now he has gotten so close to them, and he considers them not just friends but family now. I just really liked that arc in season 2 and his arc in season 4 of being the smartest guy on his Earth to kind of lowering his intelligence a little bit, boosting it down a couple notches, but still very to become a regular human, but still he was a very good character at the end of season 4, and he went back to Earth 2 to live out the rest of his days. So I think he'll come back to Earth 1 for the battle with the Watcher, or whatever his name is, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he'll come back to the Earth 1 for that battle, and then unfortunately he will die in that battle. So that's what I think is going to happen to Harry. He's had a full arc at this point. I don't really see what else they could do with him on the show. Alright, so coming up next is going to be Jesse Quick. Now, at this point in the Arrowverse, obviously Jesse Quick is going to be very broken and beaten down because her father has just died in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. So what is Jessie going to do now? She is going to go join the Legends. Now, yes, I know they've already had Wally on the Legends, they've already had a Speedster, but I really think that Jessie would be a good asset to the team, because I think she would be a lot more useful on that show. I think that Wally was very useful on that show. I was very sad when Wally left at the end of season 3. No Speedster in season 4. They're missing a Speedster on the Legends. They kind of need a Speedster on that team. It's great to have a Speedster, someone that knows a lot about time travel in time itself. So yeah, I think that Jesse would be a great asset to the Legends. Coming up next is going to be Jay Garrick. So Jay Garrick has just recently escaped the Speed Force so that he could come help Barry in into Flash time in season 4. So we currently do not know where Jay Garrick is at. I can assume he went back to the Speed Force and is going to come back the same way that he did in Into Flash time in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and try to help out the heroes the best he can against the Monitor. And I assume that Jay Garrick is going to die in Crisis on Infinite Earths, just because he doesn't have much of a role on the Flash. So it wouldn't be much. I mean, it would be an impact if he died, but it definitely would not impact the show. It would definitely impact the fans emotionally and the characters on the show emotionally, but it would definitely not impact the cycle of the show, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah, I really think that they are going to kill Jay Garrick off in Crisis on Infinite Earths, unfortunately. I really do love Jay Garrick in this show, and I think that he is a great character and a great mentor to Barry, but yeah, he's gonna be killed off in my prediction. Now, we move on to Joe West. Now, what do I think will happen to Joe West in Crisis on Infinite Earths? Obviously, everything is going well for Joe right now. He just got promoted to the captain of the CCPD. He has a wife. He's been married to Cecile for a while. Or at least he's been dating Cecile. It's kind of questionable if they're dating or if they're married. They're kind of moved in together. I can't really remember if they got married on this show or not. But yeah, Joe and Cecile are either together or they're married. They're definitely together at this point. So I think Joe is going to die in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are you being so dark and morbid? I mean, literally, you have already killed 3 guys on the Flash. Well, let me explain what I think is going to happen in the split between, because if you guys don't know, Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to be split between, I think it's December of 2019 and January of 2020. So in that at the end of that 2019, in the mid-season finale, what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to pull an Infinity War on us, because I think this show really competes with this universe really competes with the Marvel universe, so they try to do kind of the same things, and they're kind of copycats, but they kind of find their new spin on it. So what I think is going to happen is the Monitor is going to take some of our favorite heroes, like Supergirl, Flash, Iris, Wally, and they're all going to be gone. They're all going to be presumed dead at this point. I think they may take But yeah, anyway, they're all going to be presumed, maybe a few others like Alex, but anyway, they're all going to be presumed dead at this point. The Monitor is going to kind of give them a choice at first, and then when they're not able to choose, the Monitor just chooses for them. So the Monitor's big thing that we found out was there is too many heroes. I mean, he's already revealed his motivation. There are just too many heroes, and he has to take a few out of the world. So kind of like Thanos, not really. Like, the world is overpopulated with heroes. There has to be some taken out. So for one hero to come back, there must be a sacrifice. Another hero. So Harry, for example, I think that Harry is going to sacrifice himself for Jesse. Jay Garrick is going to sacrifice himself for Barry, and Joe will sacrifice himself for either Iris or Wally, whoever gets taken up by the Monitor. Mostly, I think Wally is out of the Flash right now. I think he is, Crisis on Infinite Earths is like a huge event, but they like really disrespected that character on that show, so I don't really know if they will ever bring Wally back onto the show. But if Wally does come back, it's a possibility. Joe could sacrifice himself for Wally, but most likely Wally will not come back, and Joe will end up sacrificing himself for Iris. So next we move on to Cecile West. Cecile, I think, is going to, obviously, if this prediction is true, be devastated by Joe's death in Crisis, but she is going to try to move on from that. Joe is going to promote her right before he dies to captain of the CCPD, because as we know from the Flash Season 5 finale, when Singh left and promoted Joe to the captain of the CCPD, Joe is now going to promote Cecile to the captain of the CCPD, and now she is going to take on a more parental role to Barry and Iris and take over Joe West's role in the Flash. So next we move on to Ralph Dibny. Now, Ralph is kind of a newer hero in the Arrowverse. He literally just appeared in the Flash Season 4. He died in the Flash Season 4, but then came back in the finale, and he was very prominent in the Flash Season 5, and now, in Crisis on Infinite Earths, I think he is one of the people that I talked about with Joe when the heroes are taken by the Monitor somehow. Hopefully not dusted, because that would be a little too close to Infinity War. Maybe like taken in portals somewhere. So yeah, I think he's going to be one of those heroes that goes away at the end of the mid-season finale and has to be sacrificed to come back. And yeah, after he's sacrificed, he will come back and keep fighting as the Elongated Man, along with helping out Cecile at the CCPD, along with keeping his detective job. Or maybe he might even become a cop. You never know. In Season 4, we learned that he lost his job at the CCPD. He might be able to gain more of a following at the CCPD and be able to even become a cop. So, yeah, that might happen. You never know. Or he might just stay as a detective and kind of lay low. And also, I think he is going to get together with the next character that I'm going to mention on this list, which is going to be Caitlin Snow. Now, Caitlin Snow is a very strange character on this show. Her role has kind of been split between her and Cisco as the brains of the team. I kind of thought Caitlin to be more of the doctor. Whenever you're injured, you go to her in Star Labs and she'll fix you up best she can. And Cisco is more of the field operator of the group. I kind of thought that before they became Killer Frost, and before she became Killer Frost and Cisco became Vibe, that was kind of the roles they had on that show. Now Cisco was Vibe and Caitlin is still Killer Frost, but as we know, Cisco got his meta powers taken away by choice at the end of season 5. So Caitlin, I think, will not be one of the heroes taken away at the end of the mid-season finale. She will be very devastated that Ralph Dibny was taken away, and in that time between Ralph Dibny being taken away and her getting him back, she will realize her feelings for him, and they will end up together at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So she will be together with Ralph Dibny. She'll kind of be keeping her. I think that she will at least try to rid herself of the powers of Killer Frost so that she can be in a normal relationship and just kind of stay back in Star Labs and kind of do the field and kind of try to do the Iris is kind of now the field operator, so she'll be kind of like the doctor again. So yeah, Killer Frost will be no more, and Caitlin will be with Ralph Dibny. Alright, coming up next is Wally West. Now, this is a big possibility. If he returns to the Arrowverse for Crisis on Infinite Earths, I think that he will, after the events of Crisis, go back to Earth 2 with Jesse to try to cooperate with her and try to make their relationship work again. Maybe even get a show about it. Jesse Quick and Kid Flash. That would be a very cool show. Definitely would give us some more insight on those two as characters. That would actually be a really cool show. CW, why don't you do that? Just bring Wally to Earth 2 with Jesse and make a show about it. That would be so much fun. I mean, you'd get to see all these different versions of characters. You get to see Jesse's kind of team that she has. Like her behind the scenes team. Like Cisco, her Caitlin, her Ralph Dibny, maybe even her Iris have a little bit of conflict. Boy Iris that she has a crush on, and Wally has a crush on Jesse at the same time, have a little bit of conflict between them. Yeah, just please, CW, please make this show happen. That would be so awesome. So yeah, that's my prediction for Wally West. If he returns, he'll go to Earth 2 to try to mend up his relationship with Jesse Quick. So a little bit of a catch-up for those of you that have not watched The Flash, or at least as of recent. This is Camilla Hang. She is Cisco's newest girlfriend. He is the reason why he gave up being Vibe. Now, I think that Camilla is going to try to live out a life with Cisco, but in the end, it will end in tragedy because of what I will explain in my next entry. But anyway, she will try to move on from that tragedy and try to maybe find a new boyfriend around Central City, maybe move away, try to get over the tragedy that will happen. We'll just kind of move it around this tragedy. I will get to that tragedy right now. Here we are, the biggest tragedy that will happen in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Earlier on in the video, I did state that Ralph Dipney would be one of the ones sucked into the other universe by the Monitor at the mid-season finale, so that would have to be someone to take him out in the end, and that would unfortunately have to be Cisco Ramon. Now, Cisco, he's an amazing character. I do love this guy, and he has, oh my gosh, he has saved so many seasons of The Flash from he has saved so many episodes of The Flash from just being so many mediocre. He is one of the best characters on the show. But yes, he will eventually end up dying, and I do think this because he has given up his powers of Vibe. Iris has now kind of taken over as the field leader, but now Cisco, that leaves Cisco with nothing really. An assistant field manager, which really wouldn't really make any sense. So maybe they could find him something to do for like the first 8 or 9 episodes, and then by the time the crossover comes around, he will unfortunately have to go. And this will definitely not be the biggest tragedy that will happen in Crisis on Infinite Earths. This will not be one of the biggest deaths that will happen. This will be one of the biggest deaths. It will not be the biggest death, but it will be one of the biggest deaths that happens in Crisis on Infinite Earths if this prediction is true. Next up is Iris West. Now, Iris has just lost, at this point in the series, so much. She has lost her first boyfriend, Eddie. She has lost, just recently, she has lost her mother, or her mother was kind of lost in season 3, but very, very recently, she has just lost her daughter, Nora, and super recently, she has just lost her father, Joe West. in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. So now she's just devastated, and she's going to try to build her relationships as best she can before she loses the people that mean the most to her. And I know this is kind of a tragedy, but if Joe dies, this will probably be true for her. She will probably try to build a relationship with Cecile, build a relationship with Barry, build a relationship with even Wally, who, if isn't back by this point, is with his aunt in India, I think, or Dubai, or something. I don't know. He's with his aunt right now, and she will try to get him back to Central City and get a relationship and try to grow a better relationship with him. So yeah, well, Iris, I think, in this prediction will just be much more focused on building relationships with those she loves before they are gone. On to the big guy, the Flash. Now, I think this guy, the Flash, is going to be one of my most probable predictions, because we know that for sure Oliver Queen is going to die in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, I think that because of the connection that Barry and Oliver had, Barry will try to live up to Oliver's legacy as best he can, and I think he will end up doing that, and he will end up leading the Arrowverse, now called the Flashverse. And I think this character will be the new Oliver Queen. He will be the character that recruits everyone whenever they are needed, just like in Invasion and in, not really in Crisis on Earth X, because that was kind of Barry and Iris's wedding that Oliver and Felicity kind of crashed, to be honest, but they attended it. I'm not gonna go into my feelings on that finale, or not that finale, that crossover, that end of that crossover, but I'm sorry if I'm messing up, guys. It's really late right now. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm ready for bed, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys tonight, so let's just finish this off with Barry Allen. He is going to lead the Arrowverse in the end and recruit everyone when needed, and yeah, that's what Barry Allen is going to do. And I think he is going to also try to build a relationship, a little bit more of a relationship with the Legends and Batgirl when she comes in, because Barry is much more of a guy based on relationships, because he's definitely built a relationship with those around him, especially Kara Danvers, the heroes around him, especially Oliver and Kara Danvers. So in Oliver, he didn't really he was definitely a guy based more on himself. By the end of his days, he was kind of based on the relationships of those around him, because he built Team Arrow, but he was never really focused on building relationships with Barry and Kara, especially not Kara. He was afraid of Kara, but yeah, that's what I think Barry Allen is going to do. So that's the end of The Flash, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I am going to try to get my Supergirl video out by, let's say, Thursday, because tomorrow is my birthday. I'm going to be celebrating all day, and so I'll work on it Wednesday and have it out to you guys by Thursday. And then by Saturday, I will have out my Arrow video, and we will be done with this Crisis on Infinite Earths predictions video. So yeah, let me know your guys' comments down below. And oh, I forgot to mention, I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but Barry and Iris are going to be the two of the characters taken by the Watcher. Or the, not the Watcher, the Monitor. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is your awesome dude 900 saying peace out. Have an awesome day, guys.